section. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, Dave Walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Here we are. I told you, man. Salute to my brother Trick Nolte. He'll be here in the building. He'll be here soon. Always tell you, man, we got something cooking. It's going to be a lit panel. Randall Bailey in the building.
Yo.
Jeff Mayweather in the building. What's good, fellas?
Chilling.
Good.
What up, Jeff?
Hey, how's it going,
Randall? Man, listen. We ain't going to waste no time. Everybody in the chat know who y'all are. So.
I do?
Oh, yeah. You can explain to them who you are, but I'm telling you they know who you are. They know who you are.
Okay.
So here we go. Let's go right into it. We had a fight last night. There's some controversy already. I'm gonna start with you, Randall. Talk to me. Your thoughts.
I mean, first tell me what the controversy is first.
Okay. The controversy already. I'm just gonna go ahead and address it. People are now saying that wasn't a 100% Sean Porter. It is now supported by what Kenny said, which I got a problem with it. I think that Kenny could have kept that to himself. That's just my opinion.
I mean,
and salute to the Porters.
Hey. You got eyes, right? You got eyes.
I got eyes.
Did that Porter look any different than any other Porter that came in the ring?
Nope. But here's the thing. Did Bud nullify him that bad? Or did Sean go in there saying, you know what, I knew this was going to be my last fight, F it.
Hey, when I'm finna count it down. When Adrian Broner dropped him, what he dropped him with?
Left hand,
when it took Earl Spence all the way to what, the 11th round? What he caught him with?
Left.
Hey man, they can make all the excuses they want. I got eyes, you got eyes, Jeff got eyes. Hey.
What do you make of well, before I go further, Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, me myself personally, I think that Sean and his dad has a very, very special relationship. That where most of the time, whenever his dad says something, Sean actually respects his dad enough to go along with it. Even if Sean felt that his dad was wrong, he still agreed with it in front of the people. Because the one thing is this, I mean, I think that he did the right thing. I think Kenny did the right thing. And I even said it at the press conference, and because the one thing is this, that's his son.
Yes.
And it's easy to say what you would do when you're not in there. And basically the one thing is this, his son already has a career. He has a career. He can walk away from boxing and he's set. He's straight. And I mean, basically, so why push your son another round where he's been dropped twice already? And
it was early. It was early in the round too.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. And the thing is this: what happens if Sean ends up in a coma because he pushed him that extra round? Do y'all remember the one thing that people forget? Do you remember? Oh my God, I had his name on my head. The kid from anyway. His father pushed him, and his father pushed him out there, and his son is in the grave now. Instead of being able to, have his, having a life with his kids, having fun time with his father. No, not him. No. It went back further. The kid's name, because I sparred with him. He had his name was, oh my God. His name started with an L. Yeah, he died in the ring.
Yeah,
I think he's from. He's from like he's near Philly. I'm not sure if he's from Philly or New Jersey. But anyway, what I'm saying is this. He did the right thing because no one can tell you what to do with your son in there. Because, maybe if I had a son in there, I probably would have done the same thing. They already knew that this was going to be his last fight. But most importantly is this. Now Sean can go on. Sean already got a career. He's a commentator. So, why take any more punishment that you need? And you never know what the result's going to be. Because, if Sean got knocked into a coma, then everybody would really be acting a fool about Kenny pushing him in there. But I think that he did the right thing. Basically because, his son, he's Sean. Everybody loves Sean. Everybody knows Sean was going to come out there and give it his best. But, at the same time, what happened. And I think that Kenny did the right thing. And like I said, I said it at the press conference because I felt that he needed to hear that. And because too many people was criticizing him so badly that, it's almost like I'm like your support group because basically, that's what I really believe, though. I believe that, your son is in there and, he's been dropped twice. Something bad could really happen in that next time he go down. He might not get up.
It was early enough in the round. There was a lot of round left. And it was a situation where Kenny, like you said, not only knows his fighter, but he knows his son. And you could see into the future, especially when you have such a sharp eye for the sport, like Kenny Porter does. And he knows his son, and he knows what he's capable of doing. The chat, they're saying, are you talking about Lavanda Johnson, by the way, Jeff?
Lavanda Johnson.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm more I don't disagree with the stoppage. Do you think what Kenny said at the end of the fight about the lack of training, do you think that that's an issue?
I think that Kenny is one of those people that he don't really care what he says. He's always been an open book. I've seen times when Sean's a grown man, and I've seen times when Kenny say, "Shut up," and Sean will shut right up. That's how much respect he has for his father, or, that's the kind of relationship that they have. So I'm him saying that you're never going to hear Sean have a rebuttal about it.
Right.
Because, and so basically that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a guy who pretty much allowed his dad to pretty much control his whole career and maybe even some of his lifestyle. I don't know.
Well, he did right by him because we never heard that, Sean Porter doesn't have any bad habits. He's made
right.
a few $1 million. He's a clean cut dude. He's a new father.
He made about $10 million.
Right. So he did right by his son.
He sure did.
But this that last part, people are holding on to it, and I just want to know from the people, what do you think, if any, is there something there? The Sensei Stormy B man slid into the building. What's going on there, brother? You're on mute, bro. You're on mute.
Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody on the panel. Randall, good to see you again. Jeff, good.
What's up?
Hey.
Your thoughts on last night?
Well, I called this. I said it. And one of the very first things I said was, don't be surprised if Kenny end up having to step in and save Sean when the heat got turned up on him. It's just a matter of when. It wasn't if, it was when. Because you saw from last night's performance, Bud Crawford is a better fighter than Earl Spence, man. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Before we get into that,
I'm not gonna go venture off into that.
Okay,
go ahead. Mike.
Go ahead, Stormy. Go ahead, Stormy. Yeah, go ahead, Stormy. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, the thing about a fighter like Crawford, you can be winning every round with 10 seconds to go in the last round, and he turned the lights out on you. That's a great fighter because he could do it anywhere between 1 and 12, but you just don't know when it's going to come. So you got to be focused at all times. You got to be ready. You can't be depleted. You can't show no signs of running out of the gas and all of that. You got to be able to maintain. And I think one of the greater things that was a part of their game plan was being physical and the physicality, and that backfired on him because Bud is stronger.
Yes.
When you saw him get in the ring last night and take his robe off, that's the first time since he, as a welterweight, that he looked totally, fully filled out, and he rehydrated up perfectly. Don't know what he weighed in at the weight, on the night of the fight, but he looked like a welterweight, if anything. He didn't look like a lightweight or a super lightweight. You understand? He looked like a welterweight. And he showed Sean that. So Sean had to change. But the changes that he made weren't going to be enough to sustain for the rest of the fight.
Weren't no changes.
Randall, now what did you say right before we went live in reference to, and it's the same thing that Stormy said not too long ago. You said the best time, well, Stormy said the best time I've gotten Bud was when he first got the 147 because now he done effed around and grew into the weight. So,
I mean, you got to think about it. Bud has been calling Earl out since before he left 135.
True story. So at this point, I believe, look, that fight has to happen next, man.
Hey, Mikey Garcia called Earl out from 135 and did what? Came up and got the fight.
Quick. Well, I think excuse me. The one thing is that right now, because of Earl being in the position that he's in, now it's almost like Earl was he was like the big name at welterweight, but now with Crawford doing that to Porter, that kind of puts him in a position as being the top guy. And the one thing is this, just like I said about Deontay Wilder. When Deontay Wilder, he should have took a fight in between before he came back doing all that stuff, doing all that different kind of work, put all that weight on and drained himself, as opposed to, taking a tune-up fight with all that weight on you and then all the stuff that you were doing and see if it worked for you. And that's, and the thing is with Earl, with back-to-back injuries over and over and over, he needs to actually get in there with somebody and fight, because if he comes and just tries to fight Bud, without no kind of tune-up or anything, he has no chance.
True story. Trick Noty in the building, man. Your thoughts, brother? Good to see you.
Salute to everybody on the panel. Everybody, how y'all doing?
Good.
Hey.
Man, good. How are you?
Good. I'm gonna say this. What I say last week, Kenny Porter was gonna do. What I say?
You did say that. You said.
Did I not say that?
You said.
Throw the towel in. It was a great fight. I think he did the right thing because at the end of the day, that's too much time. I think he dropped him few seconds in the round. It's too much time left.
There was a lot of time. Yeah.
And just once he smelled blood in the water, I mean, it's a wrap. And he punching through a target. And I'm out here in Houston, man, and I'm out in the barbershops, man, between the two Charlo brothers and Earl Spence, man. We looking bad out here, man. We're looking bad. You know, so yeah, we're looking bad, man. So me personally, man, I wish Earl would have gotten in the ring and called him out or said something. That's just my opinion. I don't know how y'all rest of y'all feel, but you know, that's the way I feel, man.
I mean, they're making I'm gonna get on this dude. There was a tweet put out by a boxing media person. I'm not gonna give him no daylight here. I'm gonna specifically give him the attention that he wants, because once again he lied. He retracted the tweet. So it's too late. We saw it. Who is that? Who's playing that? That is hilarious. Yeah, but I'll address that some other time.
Sorry, that was me.
Okay. I'll address that some other. I'll address that maybe tomorrow. They tried to make it seem like Errol just got up and walked out. You know, Bud said, you know, when do you show up to my fights? I mean, Errol actually showed up to a fight where he knew Bud was going to be to specifically speak to him. All right. Bud showed up to Errol's fight. What are you doing, Jeff?
You tripping.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Yeah. So I mean, look, I don't want to get into who's scared of who, but at this point, the excuses are gone. This is the fight that has to happen next because the questions need to be answered, man. I never like playing politics because I'm not on anyone's payroll.
Christmas yet.
Right, that's just what it is. My brother Marco's in the building, man. What's good, brother? How you feeling?
What up? How you guys doing?
What up, Marco?
Good, bro.
What's up?
Your thoughts?
What's up, Rick? What's up, Stormy?
Hey.
Jeff? Randall? Never met you, but what's up? Thoughts
going on?
on? Hey, man. Thoughts on if it was stopped too early, or thoughts on the whole thing?
Everything. Give it to me.
I thought that. Now I could be wrong here, but him calling out his son after the fight. First off, it was awful. I feel like it was embarrassing. It was degrading. And I was getting a vibe more like he was more worried about what people think of his training and showing like I'm a good trainer and I saw this and he didn't want to listen to me and me. To me, that's what he was more focused on, even though he tried to spin it like I'm worried about my son's well-being. So, you know, and even if that is the case, even if he felt his son wasn't prepared, shut the door, tell him behind closed doors, not on live pay-per-view. First off, I thought it was stopped a little early. Personally, I mean, you know, he had all his faculties. It was flash knockdowns. I mean, maybe not the second one as much, but you know what I mean. It could have kept going. It probably would have ended though soon after. So maybe it wasn't, you know. Yeah. So I thought it was very unprofessional, very a terrible move. And poor Sean Porter, you're looking at him, he wouldn't dare say anything to his father, and he just had to like basically swallow it. And it felt like he kind of believed it, even. You know what I mean? From all the years of probably hearing things in his ear from his own father. So I didn't like it. I thought it was a terrible ending to a great career.
Wow. Yeah, I was kind of taken back when I had mixed feelings when Kenny stood there and said, you know, well, basically what I absorbed from it was like, yo, he didn't listen to me. He had a bad camp. And I'm like, when has Sean Porter ever had a bad camp? Furthermore, we heard through the grapevine. Now, Trick and Stormy, did we not hear the sister Cece say that she heard through the grapevine that Sean ain't start training until like 30 days ago?
Yeah.
When she was on Trill, when she said that?
Yep.
And my concern was, as a betting man, with information like that, what am I supposed to do with that? You know, I've been walking around saying, yo, look, you might be able to beat Sean Porter, but no one's stopping Sean Porter. Well, that went out the window last night.
Well, I want to just say this on my own behalf. When the fight was announced, not knowing how long somebody been in camp or any of that foolishness, I said straight away, Sean getting knocked the fuck out. I said it straight away. I went on your channel. I went on other channels. I would say it wherever I could go and appear on a regular basis. And everybody was looking at me sideways. I don't know about that, Stormy. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Listen.
You did call it.
Class tells. Class tells. If Sean wasn't in camp, that's his damn fault, because he was going in there with a guy that can take his head off. Okay? And if he's that arrogant, he deserves to have his head taken off. But what he doesn't deserve is the heap of accolades that people put on his shoulders, thinking that he was going to provide a test of pressure on Terrence Crawford, who's had pressure all his damn life, in and out of the ring, and is talented enough, has the IQ enough to overcome. When he sat down with Tim Bradley in the interview, and Tim Bradley said, "What do you think they're going to try to do to you?" He said, "Well, I think they're thinking of me when I was a young boy, and I acted rash and emotional on things like that or whatever." He's like, "I'm a man now. I got my own family." You know what I mean? So he has a certain precedent that he has to set for his own life. Meanwhile, he ain't burning the candle at two ends. Someone said that he was in the gym training all the way back in May or June.
Drew,
just in the gym when he didn't have a fight. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This for everybody. Who you guys have up at the time of the stoppage? Because I had Porter up.
Porter probably was up.
I had to fight a draw.
You added a draw, Jeff?
Yeah.
But I'll say this. From round 8 and 9, Crawford was starting to land his stuff.
Yeah, he was.
He was starting to land his stuff. And once he starts landing his stuff, that window that you have to win, the opportunity, it closes very fast, because he starts seeing where he can get his shots off now. He can gauge, and that body work he put in early that people weren't accounting for did have an effect on Sean Porter. It did.
I think Bud Crawford is one of the few fighters that when he gets hit, we all see it. Some fighters shake their head, they smile. And most of the time, I think it's a sign of, I got caught, I'm embarrassed, I'm trying to play it off. But with him, I really feel like he's one of the few fighters that when he gets hit, it's almost like putting energy pellets in his mouth, and it makes him like more determined to win. And that's some scary shit. Like
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, similar.
Salute to my brother Woke the Truth in that super chat. He said, "Kenny stop Porter, not Bud." Wow.
Good point.
Hey, let me say this.
Whatever they want, but guess where the victory mark goes?
Yeah. Hey, let me say this.
Go ahead.
I noticed something in round 2. When I saw Sean Porter try to take Bud and turn him and twist him, and I saw Bud walking from the middle of the ring to the corner. And I said, you know what? When I saw that, it's a wrap, because he was when he fought Earl, he was spinning Earl and moving Earl. He couldn't do Bud like that. Bud was coming out of there like that. So once I saw him try to walk him to the ropes, and he couldn't do it. I mean, try to whatever. And once he walked Porter to the ropes, it's a wrap.
Absolutely, Trick.
Did you see him
lift Porter up off of the canvas and push him into the ropes? And then how about that one move when Porter was rushing him and he stepped to the side and cuffed him behind the head and ran him right into the ring apron with one hand?
Yeah,
one hand.
Remember Antonio Barrera did the Prince like that.
Yeah, but the difference with Barrera, he grabbed the Prince with both hands like this and pushed him in there. Bud just cuffed him and just pushed him on, used his own momentum into the ring apron.
Strong.
To Felix Nunez, he said, Andrew said Danny lost because he wasn't listening also. So they trying to say, that's what's being said. It's like the coaches slash fathers are putting it onto the fighters, you know. But these are this is what's being said. These are the conversations. You know what I'm saying? Is it? I don't want to say it's a concentrated effort to try and discredit Bud, because that's not what this is. I'm saying that what Kenny said, we could have did without it. Kenny shouldn't have said anything, in my opinion. He shouldn't have said that. Now it's out there. Did he train? You know, now he's saying that Sean don't listen, and Sean was Sean, in my opinion. Sean was Sean.
Sean didn't do nothing he didn't do in the Earl Spence fight, Danny Garcia fight, Keith Thurman fight. Look at all three fights, and you will see that he did the exact same thing in each fight.
He made the exact same mistakes. He comes in, he dips his head low, and Bud timed him with that uppercut perfectly.
Hey man, they want to say and do anything to try to discredit Bud from that ass whooping. Everybody knew that was coming.
Yep.
Listen, there's even something more to be said about that, and this is just before the fight, just weeks before.
Keith Thurman, hold on. Keith Thurman had a hard time with him. Earl had a hard time with him. Danny had a hard time with him. Bud made it look the easiest.
I wouldn't agree with that.
It was back and forth until Sean made that mistake. Yeah. And Bud, I would say Bud had him scouted the best.
Hey, that was being set up all night. If you look at Bud, he was waiting to throw an uppercut all night because he knew he was gonna run into it.
He was best scouted.
Yeah, but see, the one thing though was Bud was actually getting hit a lot too. Yes. And so it wasn't like it wasn't like Bud was just setting things up. No, because Bud was getting hit too.
No.
One thing is this: once he found his jab and he found his distance and his range, the fight was over. I mean, it seemed like it took him a lot longer than it should have because, because he was doing the same thing. I mean, he was just pressuring you.
It's Porter though. It's Porter.
Porter's a dog. You know, I mean, he's a dog for sure.
It took everybody else a long time too. They just couldn't stop him.
I have to say this part right here that no one really wants to acknowledge this. Bud had a problem with being in there with a friend. I don't know that he's ever fought anybody that was a friend before, but that affected him because everyone else he doesn't have any regard for. He's ready to go in there, take care of business, take a guy's head off. But for some reason, he just couldn't get himself going to hurt Sean until what I noticed between the 9th and the 10th round, somebody said something to him outside of that ring because Bomac was on his left side, the cut man was on the right side working.
Yeah, somebody told him he was down.
And the guy told him, whoever it was, they told him outside the ring, they said, hey man, you got to go get him.
Yeah.
You behind the wall. And he looked over and he said, what? I got to go get him? Okay. He got up and within the first few seconds of the 10th round, Sean
you're right, Stormy. Something did turn. I don't know what was said to him.
Go back and watch the fight. You will see him mouth the words. He says, I gotta go get him, huh? I gotta go get him. And then he said, okay.
Because the fight was close. Salute to my brother Junior. He says, I think Kel made it look the easiest, and after the fight, doesn't make it any of you view the Spence Crawford differently.
I mean, yeah, it has to. It has to raise.
It absolutely has to.
Yeah, it has to.
It has to. But now that we've seen it, there are a lot of questions that have been answered. In all fairness, okay, Bud has a second gear. If you didn't know already, Bud has a second gear. He was hit a lot in this fight. That's what the concern was. The concern was, is Bud really a true 147-pounder? Is Sean going to steamroll him like the football player running back he appears to be? The answer was no. He was getting there he was flinging Sean around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't only strength. It was like judo. He was using his momentum. The footwork was great, man.
Drew,
go ahead.
Bud is a welterweight now.
Yep.
They got problems.
Yep. There's no denying this. Yep.
I don't want to take this off track a little, and then it's a little premature, but in 1 to 2 years, I think Boots beats all of them.
Boots is the problem. Boots is
That's
the
a
problem.
problem.
Bad.
Yeah,
But, you know,
he's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
It ain't his
How
time yet. though.
long Boots been a professional?
Yeah, exactly. I said a couple years, give him.
Couple of years down
I
the
mean,
line,
he
not
ain't
now.
even, he ain't even in the conversation right now. He got a long way to go.
I
Exactly.
think he would.
I've
But
already
we keeping an
acknowledged
eye
how
on
good
him.
he
Hey,
is, but
we
the
thought
thing
the
is,
same
we got
thing.
some
We
other
thought
business that need
the
to be
same
taken
thing
care
with
of at the top of the
Benavidez.
division.
Benavidez is a good fighter too, and you seen what Bud did to him. Don't rush these young ones.
Yeah, Boots just is, to me, specifically special. Really special.
And let him stay special till it's his time.
I think he
Most
would.
UK says,
do
will
well now.
Bud sign to PBC? Nope. I understand he signed with MTK.
Yep.
Y'all know about that? He signed with MTK Global. Salute to my brother Kurt Anderson, aka Kurt Sugar, in the building. He said Crawford #1 pound for pound. There it is. It's difficult to, man. That's Kurt Sugar.
You want to know what should hurt everybody even more?
What's that?
Get the preparation H out.
Hmm.
He been best pound for pound. He been that.
Yo.
He been that. Not Earl,
man.
not Sean, not Danny, not Thurman. He's been that. It's just that the nation of people to get behind all those other guys and freeze up against Bud. It's like, for whatever reason, you don't want to give that man his just due.
I mean, he came up from 135. These guys been fighting at 147 their whole career.
So let's go around the panel. I'm gonna start with you, Randall. What's next for Bud?
Man, he got to see if these other guys want to come across the street.
Okay.
And I don't think it's gonna happen now.
Why not?
Man, come on, man. I think this winter is gonna be severely a lot of ducks running around.
Oh boy. Oh boy. He said there's gonna be a lot of ducks. So nobody on the PBC side gonna want any smoke with Bud.
Hey, you see what Sean did? He retired afterwards.
Oh shoot.
It ain't happening.
Oh boy. Jeff, your thoughts. What's next?
Well, I think that while I was at the press conference, I think Bud is kind of like, he's a little tired of chasing Earl. So I think, and of course now he's a free agent, so he can do whatever he wants to do. And so now I think that he might fight Ugas. That might be his next, because I don't think that he's gonna fight Earl immediately, and plus I don't think that Earl is gonna fight him after a performance like that and having been in the ring for almost over a year.
Hey, I said, you know what? When Earl came back and fought Danny Garcia, I just felt like something wasn't right with him after that. And that was a bad accident. And guys really don't come back the same afterwards. They can say what they want, but I don't think he's all the way there.
He looked good. He looked good against Danny.
Hey, if you fighting a guy that ain't trying to hurt you, you're gonna look good.
You don't think Danny was trying to hurt him?
Come on, man. His daddy even told him, "What do you fight this guy?"
Oh shit!
Yep. Danny's dad was extremely unhappy with him after that performance. He almost cussed him out because in front of the media, because it was like you had a man in front of you that you didn't even try to test him out.
Exactly.
And that's what Danny's dad was really upset about, because he kept telling him in between rounds, and Danny would just go back out there.
You mean to tell me that he went a whole training camp for Danny Garcia and didn't make it out of a training camp getting ready for Pacquiao?
This is some epic shit you talking right now, man. This
Come
is
on,
epic,
man.
man. This is epic.
Hmm.
This
Come
is
on,
epic
man.
shit. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me get to
Come
this.
on.
Get to the
Come
super
on.
chat. Salute to my brother all around strong. He said it was a good fight. Porter was doing well, but Bud adjusted. Yes. I
Yeah.
still would pick Errol, but Bud definitely proved himself as a top welterweight to me this weekend. Yeah, shout out to Bud. Shout out to Bud. And salute to Felix Nunez in that super chat. He said Bud was cut up at 147. He's legit big welterweight now. Yeah.
Full body.
Yeah. Marco, what's next?
Yeah, I don't think Errol Spence is happening. I think they got a whole. They remind me a lot of Pacquiao and Mayweather back when the fight should have happened. You know, back in like whatever it was 05, where it was a lot of kind of like ego. I feel like going on where a lot of A side, B side, and they ended up just being like fuck it. So I see a lot of that with Spence and Crawford now. A lot of like I don't need him. So that's probably not going to happen. I did hear Crawford mention fighting Josh Taylor. That's a possibility. But I mean, really, who else is there? You know what I mean? He's fought almost everybody. He could fight Danny Garcia. He could fight Thurman, but I heard that Thurman wants to take a tune-up fight.
I mean, here you go calling out things that's never going to happen.
Well, I was asked a question, so I'm responding to it.
This could have happened. Be realistic with the answer, though.
Well, you might not think it's realistic, but I do. That's why I said it.
These guys could have been stepped up and fought him.
Okay, well,
wait, hold on. Ben stepped up and fought Bud.
Bud, yeah.
Hold on. Let me read the super chat, then I'm gonna address that. He said, Woke the Truth said, y'all mean to tell me that y'all making excuses for Danny against Spence? Really? Wow. I'll get back to that. Now,
nobody ain't making no excuses, but Danny was the perfect opponent.
It wasn't no pushover, but let me address that. And I feel what Mark is saying. Here's my perspective on that, and I'm gonna let you finish up, Mark. Here's my perspective on it. Bud and Errol could have happened when he got there. I ain't gonna get all the way deep into it because everyone in the chat knows. Bud wanted 50-50. Errol said, I'll get my side of the street or I'll stop what I'm doing to entertain you at 60-40. The fight could have happened there. Now, I don't like talking about business, but I understand it, and I hate it. I hate talking about the business of boxing, especially when I'm not making millions of dollars in these guys' camp. That's why I don't like talking about it. I'm not on anyone's payroll. But he said 60-40. Y'all remember Roy Jones? 60-40. I'll whoop your ass. That's what he told Bud. He said 60-40. We'll get it popping now. If you're not on that, I'll go handle my side of the street. That's the story. Bud said, no, I'm worth more. Not according to the numbers. Not when Errol is selling out Cowboy Stadium and Bud, pay-per-view numbers are not matching. It didn't match. I thought 60-40 was generous. So we could have had that fight. And Bud, my critique with him was never about his in-ring performance. My critique with him was his business moves. Since everyone wants to talk their business out loud for the public to hear, that was my critique with him. Now we're in the position, with Errol with the car accident, and then he came back and he beat up on Danny Garcia, and now Bud is at 147. He finally had, because I'm not hearing Jeff Horn. I knew that was going to happen. All right. He told Bob Arum, kiss my ass. He caught 2 KOs yesterday, by the way. Sean and Bob Arum. He told Bob Arum, kiss my ass, sugar. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get me the Manny Pacquiao fight. You couldn't get me the Errol Spence fight. I'm taking my business elsewhere. Beautiful. Beautifully said. Because y'all remember Bob Arum told him, look, I don't want him fighting the Manny Pacquiao fight because I know how it ends. So he valued Manny Pacquiao's friendship more than his new prospect, Bud Crawford. Then turns around and says, I could have bought a house in Beverly Hills with the money I lost on Bud Crawford. Well, motherfucker, you could have had a bunch of money if you let him fight a Manny Pacquiao. We're fighters, right? This is what I'm saying. So good job by Bud. He caught 2 L. He gave out 2 L's yesterday. So shout out to Bud. But the Errol fight could have happened like 2 years ago before Errol flipped his car. But what I'm saying is it's hot right now. And right now we need the questions answered. So I'm gonna give it back to you, Marco. Go ahead and finish your thought.
I mean, that was really it. You know, it's hard to say what's next because who knows? There's a lot of politics involved. We know what should be next. It should be Errol. That's what should be next. But that seems like it's not going to happen. I mean, I heard him say he wants to fight Josh Taylor. Terrence said it recently. You know, he's undisputed at 140, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not, you know, who knows, man? Who knows?
ATL Unanimous Boxing Sports says, "What's next? Crawford ducking Errol Spence again." I mean, that's what it was looking like, man. Sid Mark says, "Great fight, but I didn't like how Kenny put down Sean. A father don't put down his son like that. Kenny exposed who he really is." Damn. Wow. I mean, it's mixed. That's how people are feeling, man. I mean, some people are saying, you know, that was a father looking out for his son rather than a trainer looking out for his fighter. Some people are saying, yo, he shouldn't have did that. Some people saying it's a good stoppage.
Well,
damn.
I don't know if you saw, Drew, there was an episode. It was kind of like their version of 24/7. I forget what they call it. And there was at least 2 episodes I saw. And Kenny was jumping in the middle of sparring and basically doing the same shit. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. It was like, you're not listening to me, blah, blah, like a drill sergeant in front of the spar partners on the. This has been in motion at least since training camp for this fight.
Well, you know, like I said, we heard that he only been training 30 days. I don't know. I'm not there. Is it based off the performance or how it ended rather? Because I didn't see much difference in the performance, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he looked great.
He looked great. He did. Was it the fact that he was mentally checked out? Like, yo, this is my last fight. I don't care. I'm good. Is it that? Or was Bud just too much? Which one is it?
He looked good. You guys agree? Didn't Porter look really good until he got stopped?
Porter looked good to me.
Yeah.
Porter looked good. I see you, Randall.
I mean, he looked like Porter.
Yeah.
I didn't see nothing different.
I seen him eat an uppercut. That's what I saw.
I mean, he gets hit. I mean, but Porter does the same thing in every fight. That's his MO. He's gonna come. He's gonna try to roughhouse it. If you let him get away with it, he's gonna do it. He's gonna try to mess you up. But Bud wasn't having it.
True story. Salute to ATL Unanimous Boxing in the super chat. He said, "But for real, it was very disrespectful for Kenny's father, to stop the fight like that and talk down on his son in front of everybody. He did great." And you see, that's what I'm talking about. I think that conversation should have been between them in the locker room. And I agree with Marco, it sounded like Kenny was protecting his integrity as a trainer. You know what I'm saying? More than anything. He didn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to say that. So I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. But I mean, damn, man. I mean, look, man, Bud won. Bottom line, Bud won, and he's the first one to stop Sean Porter. Now, was he mentally checked out? We could debate that to the end of time. But I didn't see anything. He looked fit. I saw the abs. He didn't look out of shape. He didn't look like he was gassing either. Neither one of them. The cardio was there. In fact, during the weigh-in, when Bud took his shirt off, I was like, oh, snap. Wow.
All you gotta do is go to Instagram and you'll see months of pictures and video of Sean Porter showing his body in shape, ready to go way before the fight.
Good point.
Salute to the African sci-fi scholar. He said, "I got Bud pound for pound number 1, but history shows us the fight would not have happened if Sean was not his mandatory." Then there's that. And that's what I'm saying. The business aspect of it. And that has been my only critique with Bud, the decisions he made. But now that he's away from Bob Arum, all right. And Jeff, do you know anything about him asking the WBC to be Errol's mandatory? Because I know what went on with that. The recent
no, from what I heard, and what I seen on YouTube, I mean, it looked like they ordered him to fight Ennis.
Mm.
They forced they're trying to force Earl to fight Ennis.
Oof.
What?
I hope to God.
Wait a minute.
That's
Yeah.
big news right there.
When did you hear that? I heard something a little different.
It's on YouTube.
Randall, we're gonna prove you wrong when Ennis stops him.
Hey. I never said nothing about Earl and Ennis.
I heard that the WBC is working with Bud. They're gonna work with the WBO to mandate him as Errol's mandatory. That's what I was hearing. That's what I heard. Now, I don't know. Things change every day. I don't know. But I heard that they're gonna work with him. Granted, if he won. So now they say they're gonna work with the WBO to make him Errol's mandatory.
I feel like we should discuss what a shame it is that we're not going to get Crawford for Spence. That's just like that shit in the 80s didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Not even in the 90s, really.
Man, listen, there's a lot of fights historically that could have happened and it didn't happen. Do the business. I'm sure between everybody on this panel, there's a lot of fights. We're like, yo, man, this fight should have happened. This fight should have happened. Grind my gears, man. Bo Lewis should have happened. Didn't happen.
That's top of the line right there.
Yeah, but then you got, Jones, Tony in the prime. Happened. I was at that fight. Was, what I mean? Most of them I feel like did happen. Most in the past.
Yeah.
Man,
it's a shame. And
a lot of them on free TV.
Yeah, and it's too bad the fans can't do something to make it happen, but we can't.
Fans can do something.
What?
Stop dick riding and stop buying the bullshit.
I don't know what that means. Explain.
You know what that means.
Well, what it means is we're the consumer. And if we don't get what we want, whether we love the fighter or not, we just got to, stop watching and get on their social media. That's why I tell the dick riding fans that think that I have a problem with whoever fighter. I'm like, don't argue with me. You know who he's supposed to be fighting. Get in his inbox, get on his Twitter, his Instagram, his Facebook, and say, yo, look, you need to go handle this business. This guy's getting on my nerves. I want to see you beat this guy.
Being in the boxing business, Jeff done seen firsthand. He knows how this goes. I don't even look at a fighter's first 10 fights. That's why I don't understand why fighters be beating on their chest when they only got 5 fights. We know what they're doing. We building you up, man. Take your win, take your good chips, and go ahead. But when it's time to step up to somebody that's really gonna fight you, don't start with that. Don't start with 90-10 and all that other dumb stuff. Fight the fights.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. You want to, because the truth is, if they fought, the winner would be the A side and controls everything. So
there is no reason why we got welterweights that ain't fighting each other.
Well, let me ask you a question.
But everybody want to be called champ.
Hold on. Let me get these super chats. I'm gonna give it straight to Stormy. Salute to ATL Unanimous Boxing and Sports and back in that super chat. He said, salute Stormy. B-Man, you told the outcome weeks ago. Respect, fam. Salute, Drew. I'm out. No doubt Stormy did call it. He called it exact. Yep. Trick Notes, he called it exact. Salute to my brother Zena 360. He said, it seemed like Kenny used throwing the towel to get back at Sean for not doing everything he said. And Porter did not seem wobbly or dazed at all. Kenny robbed Porter and Crawford of a definitive end. Wow. I mean, these are the things people are saying. Stormy.
You have to reach pretty far up your own asshole to come up with some of these excuses for these fights, man. I listened to, when I first came in, I listened to Jeff explain. He was talking about, a father caring for his fighter and things of that nature. Regardless of how you think about it, he has a right to stop a fight where he can envision his son being comatose on the canvas by the guy that's the best finisher in the business.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank God he got a father like that. So because he can go on the next PBC broadcast as soon as they have one and finish fulfilling his analyst duties. and not be in traction somewhere. But the question I wanted to throw out there to everybody on the panel is this. When Earl Spence was a contender before defeating Kell Brook, before he even fought Kell Brook, wasn't Bud Crawford a champion already?
Yeah.
In a couple of divisions already.
Yep. Undisputed.
Am I right?
Exactly.
So, you mean to tell me that just because he won a title from Kell Brook, who had already been damaged by Triple G, that he can come in the game at 147 as a newly crowned champion and tell the man who was undisputed at 140, just under him, 60-40.
Well,
a man who's double accomplished than what he is, but he can dictate. Get the hell out of here. I am so sick. The gloves are off now because I've been listening to this bull crap. And all we've seen this man do is practically take his own life with his irresponsibility. All we've seen the other guy do is win, baby. Get ready for the next one.
There's a whole
and when
lot
he got
of
up there to
people
147, he stopped every guy in the ring with him. And you still got no love for the guy. He ain't been caught on the police blotter. You understand? He ain't getting woefully out of shape. His skills and his ability are constantly being honed. Even Freddie Roach said he's the closest thing to Floyd, with the exception of being able to turn southpaw, when they were talking about the possibility of he and Pacquiao fighting years ago. That's one of the highest compliments that you could receive from a coach. But it seems like everybody don't want to have nothing to do with Bud Crawford. And I talked about the bias in the sport, skin complexion in the sport. And there's a lot of people that don't want to deal with the facts. I'm tired of that, man. I'm actually tired. What I'd like to see him do, challenge himself even further, because that's what he's done his entire career. Go on up to 154, challenge Castano for that WBO title that he's got there. If he beats Castano, go on into a unification for undisputed against Charlo.
Salute
Thanks,
to the
bro.
African Sci-Fi Scholar. He says, was I the only one who was shocked at how big and commanding Bud was over Sean? He can work well at 154. Nope. Bud made a statement. Let me say this. Y'all always hear me say, I understand the business of boxing, but you ain't got to make me like it. I totally get the 60-40 from Errol. I get it. That was business. We don't like business. We're not making money off the business. I understood why he said it. Because now we're talking worth. But now, when you're talking about who wins in the ring and in their actual worth, we're having two different conversations. Because we can also say this: Could Jamal Charlo walk up to Canelo and say, "Yo, let me get 50-50 with you, because I'm undefeated at 160, and I know you accomplish all of this at 168." You know what I'm saying? These are the games that we just want to see the goddamn fight.
That's apples and oranges, Drew.
It's along those same lines, though. It's along the same lines.
No, it's not.
Because if somebody,
do you think that Charlo is anywhere near pound for pound the best?
No.
Okay. But Canelo is considered by the media to be, but Bud Crawford is. And Earl Spence is up there in the pound for pound ratings, but he's not considered pound for pound the best.
And why we don't consider Canelo pound for pound the best?
I said in comparison, when you're talking about between he and Bud Crawford, it's hands down Bud Crawford. But I said the media projects Canelo as pound for pound.
And I tell the media I don't hold Canelo to that standard because he's a cheater.
Well, that's a whole other thing. You talk about him cheating, but the media projects him as pound for pound the best in the face of boxing. That doesn't mean he is, but that's what they do.
But the business aspect of it, and you're right, but the business aspect of it, when you have Jamal saying, yo, look, I've been here, I deserve this, that same media, supported by some of these rabid-ass fans, will say, nah, we don't care if he fights Jamal or not. And we're saying, yo, what's good? So what if Jamal went to Canelo and said, yo, look, 50-50, I deserve it because I ain't got no L's. You got an L. You got a draw. You pop dirty. So this is 50-50.
Don't work like that.
Stadium in Vegas last night.
Yeah.
Huh? You say again?
Did you see that attendance in that stadium in Vegas last night?
I wasn't paying attention to the did they sell out? They probably sold out. They sold out.
The whole point of it is remember, they had a lot more to do with Bud than it did Sean Porter. Didn't Earl say Sean couldn't sell a family dinner?
Yep.
True story. He did say that.
Let's see this though. Let's see this. Let's see Earl fight out of Dallas and see what his draw be.
Out of Dallas, like where?
Anywhere.
State. Anywhere.
Anywhere.
I think he'll sell out in Brooklyn, in New York.
Barclays, yeah.
He'll sell out in the Barclays. He'll sell out MSG. He'll sell out in the Barclays.
We don't know.
I think so because he got family in
I
New
mean,
York.
we ain't talking about thinking now. We talking about showing. Bud ain't fighting his hometown. And you seen what he did.
Wait, what do you mean Buddy fighting this whole time?
Where they fought at last night?
In Vegas.
Vegas.
Sellout, right?
Who was his dance partner?
I'm not really sure, but it's pretty packed.
It's pretty.
He said it was 12,000.
Let's just see Bud out.
But it was a small arena.
But he had the right dance partner though.
Let's see. Well, let Spence find a real dance partner out of Dallas, out of Texas, and see what his numbers are.
Like who? Well, let me read the super chat. Salute to Robert Singleton. He said pre-Stormy been saying that for years on Bud. No doubt. And salute to Woke the Truth. He said, didn't Floyd take less to prove that he was the best? I'll wait. Yeah. And salute to Opulent LD. He said, Bud can't fill seats like AJ. It's business. So let me say this.
Well, in New York, let me say this. In New York, even the Charlo brothers, man, they do good in New York. And I'm sure if Earl Spence fight at the Barclays, he should do good because, like I say, he got family up there. Big Jamaican community. So he should do good in New York.
He'll do good in New York, whether it's the Garden or the Barclays. He sells out Dallas. And like I said, it's about the dance partner. Bud is going to do pretty good numbers last night because this was his biggest test at 147. At 147, this was his biggest test. So I get it.
I mean, what Bud doing Omaha?
I mean, that's Omaha though. That's home.
Like I said,
I went to this pay-per-view. I went to the pay-per-view when he fought Amir Khan. I was there. I bought a ticket, and that didn't do too well. It didn't do as expected when he fought Amir Khan, and Amir Khan is this big name. He's a name. So as opposed to what was the sales between Bud? I swear to God, I hate having this conversation, but here we are. Bud fought Amir Khan. What was the sales in comparison to when Canelo fought Amir Khan?
I mean, you can't really compare that.
Canelo is a cash cow boxer.
Canelo can fight you and sell out.
Yeah.
Because that whole time, Bud was considered pound for pound the best. That whole time. And I'm sure Canelo did better numbers.
But you got national box office. You can't even account for that'll come out for Canelo just on general principle of the Mexican and Latino community. They support.
But Bud was even back then, Bud was considered pound for pound the best. Even back then.
Bud would do a great deal better if you didn't have so many people that were only speaking in terms of supporting regional. You know, they don't support the sport; they support region. If you're out of Dallas or something like that, yeah, you're gonna put all your support behind Earl only. The Mexicans will support Canelo, Valdez, all them other guys. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We
Do
don't.
we
don't
agree?
do
Canelo's
that
also
kind of
a
stuff.
global star, though. Canelo's a global star. Canelo's been in the game a lot longer because, you know, he started when he was like 15 or whatever it was. You know, Canelo is just nobody can match him right now in terms of popularity.
Salute the Volcanus in that super chat. He says, salute Big Drew, panel, and chat. Crawford look impressive against Porter. He damn sure did. And don't get me wrong, I am not disrespecting. I will never sit up here and disrespect anybody's skill set unless they're like horrible. All right, Bud is not horrible. And Bud, man, he proved a point last night. But now it's time to make the Errol fight. Now, as far as sales is concerned, him and Canelo have a partner. They have an opponent in common. But Canelo did better numbers than Bud. And I supported Bud. You understand? In saying that, being that we understand how, well, you know, we have an idea. I mean, you guys, you know, Randall and Jeff, you guys are actually in the industry. You understand? So y'all know how marketing and all that shit works. Going into the Errol Spence fight, knowing business, financially, the split, is it 50-50? I'm gonna start with you, Jeff.
Oh, I mean, at first, I mean, Earl was basically dictating everything. But now, I mean, Crawford, you know, basically after beating Porter, I mean, it seems like now he's the one that should be saying, you get 60-40. Right. You know, but I mean, you never know. You never know because, I mean, the way Crawford was talking last night, it was like, forget Earl Spence. He don't even care. He said he wanted to fight, but he said, you know, after all this time he been trying to get that fight and it didn't happen. He was like, you know, I'm moving on.
That's the second time he said it. He just said it 2 weeks ago. He said certain fights pass you by. I'm like, come on, dogs. Why you keep talking like that?
I mean, it's out of his hands. What you want the man to do? Get on his knees and crawl over there to the man door?
Well, I wanted him to take 40%. We could have had the fight 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, if he was such a little guy and he wasn't a competitive person or whatever, you should just, you know, go on in there and whoop his ass then. Get rid of him.
I mean, it worked the other way. If Earl feels he's that a dominant of a champion, hey, make it 50-50. If you're going to win anyway, you know you're going to make triple that after you beat him anyway. Go ahead and beat him.
That's what I'm saying. The winner controls everything. If they make the fight, they should just do everything right down the middle so the egos aren't involved. And then the winner, boom.
Do y'all
That's
feel?
how you know somebody don't really want it, man.
Hey, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Hey, let me say this. I remember we had Roy Jones on the show. What Roy Jones say? I knew James Hunter was the A-side. I went ahead and took that little money, and went up and beat him.
Yeah,
true.
So,
you know, y'all.
I mean, me personally, I mean,
I think I was just saying, there's also
remember,
social media involved now. So you got people being like, oh, he's scared, he's running. And it makes these guys even more so not want to be considered the B-side. And it fucks up the fight.
It really does. Y'all remember the Manny Pacquiao things? That was 5 years of trash. You know, man, that was because I remember that Floyd did agree to 50%. He agreed to the 50-50, but then he agreed to the 50-50, the ring size, the glove size, the venue, because Bob Arum wanted to drag him to Dallas. The weight, you know, Bob Arum wanted $10 million for every pound Floyd came in overweight. You understand? And Floyd said, okay to all of that. I want one thing, OSDT. And then the circus began. I remember that.
Yep.
And then after a while, Floyd was like, yo, look, I'm the A side. I'm doing better numbers. So we could fight, but you got to agree to these terms because I did it with Oscar. You got to agree to these terms. Cotto did it with Pacquiao. Agree to the terms. I'm the bigger draw. And it was 5 years ago. I had a relative that started high school when the fiasco started, and he didn't see the fight until he was in his first year in college, for God's sakes. It was crazy. It was that long. It was crazy, man.
But that fight was going to end exactly the way it ended.
No, we know that, but it took them 5 years to get it done.
I think Floyd would have beat him easier.
5 years of trickery and Bob Arum lying. There was a lot of lies, man. There was a lot of lies.
But I don't think the money would have generated back then what it generated when it happened.
That's true as well, but it would have been a better fight for boxing.
For us, the people that wanted to see it.
Hey, what we talking about again? Talk about that money, right?
That money. So, like right now, and I know it's kind of, sort of, it's different here.
Everybody want to play. Everybody want to be Floyd. Fuck Mike. They want to be Floyd.
Well, right now, but we do understand. We do understand A side, B side. We understand how that works. Right now, Errol's the A side, and being that, again, I don't like business, but I understand somewhat how that works, at least that much. Being that Errol is the A side, y'all don't think that he would deserve a bigger part of the split if he comes in there and he says, "All right, we could fight in May, we could fight in June, but I'm the A side." You understand? I want to take a majority of not. I don't want to like rob you. You know what I'm saying? But what if he's 60-40 him again?
I mean, that's 60-40, and I mean pay-per-views and everything. I mean, what the guaranteed purse going to be?
Well, I wouldn't know. But I'm just saying.
All that gotta play out. I mean,
if Bud comes in there and says, "I want 50-50 or no fight," are we cool with that?
Yeah.
I'm not cool with that because my thing is this. I told me I was saying it with Manny Pacquiao. I said, "You think you're gonna knock Floyd out? Take the lesser portion, beat his ass, and come back and fight him in a rematch." And he didn't do it, and then we found out why.
The thing is,
I was saying the same thing like with Bud. Take the 40, whip Errol's ass if you can, and then in the rematch, you get the higher end of the split.
But the thing is, here we're dealing with egos, so this isn't really about money because the money at this high of a level it's not going to change your life. You get a little less or a little more. This is about ego, and that's the problem. Drop the ego, fight.
Definitely a lot of ego.
I get it, but the money wouldn't be significant either way. 10% up or down.
Yeah, this is bad. Your salute to Opulent LD. He said blacks are the biggest consumers, but Bud is disconnected from his own people. Bro, that's a whole nother, and I agree that because y'all already know. For those people in the chat, y'all know what that is, man. Your Bud, there's that. Chris Perkins in that super chat, he said Spence and Porter sold out the state. Oh, they sold out the Staples Center. That's good. That's big, man. C Love says if you're on ESPN and not a bigger star, then that's on you. Wow. And salute to Jafar Cesar. He says, wasn't he not getting those fights because of Bob? Yeah, there's that. There was a lot of that, and that's why he put Bob on Front Street at the post fight. And I'm glad he did that crap, man. I'm glad he did that. Volcanus back in that super chat. He said Spence beat Porter, but Crawford made his daddy stop the match. Errol didn't do that. No shade. I'm telling you, man. All of these. Salute the Boss Red. Floyd take 40 from Oscar. He did. Divine Sense, I see you. It was 5 years of hell. It was crazy. Zeta 360 in that super chat. He said pound for pound is an opinion list. Financial investments aren't made off of opinions. They make it off of revenue, which is factual. Spence brings 80% more revenue based on their current numbers. 60-40 is generous. Hey, man, you see, these are the things that people are talking about. We all can agree that we just want to see the goddamn fight. But the hurdle is the numbers. That's the hurdle.
So I got a question. Back to what Jeff was saying that they're pushing for Boots to get the shot at Earl, and then Terrence Crawford is pushing to get the shot at Earl. That's gonna collide some kind of way if that's all true.
Yeah.
What y'all think about that?
I'd rather Boots get the shot at Earl.
Hmm.
And it has nothing to do with me being against Crawford getting the shot. Crawford
Right,
tried to
I
fight the man. Crawford tried to fight the man when he first got up there, and none of them guys wanted. They were playing around. So go ahead and give Boots that shot so Boots can prove whether or not he belongs. And if he be the man that knock Earl out, so be it.
Well, he been the one calling Earl out, you know. So yeah, I agree with you, Stormy. I like to see that.
Yeah.
See Boots get him a shot.
Yeah, and you know that get some fresh blood in there. You know, it's like I'm sick of this.
You know,
man.
I feel you, Stormy. You know, if it's gonna be another 2 years of games, and Bud talking like, you know, I'm past it, like Jeff, and salute to Jeff, he had to run. I'm not finna go through all of that. So if
Bud
it's
should be
like
past it, bro. He should be past it. That's why you heard me suggest that. Hey, go on up there and challenge yourself even more. Fight Castano for his WBO title. That's a great challenge for him.
Bro, if he fight Castano and beat him, I'll laugh my ass off. Y'all know why.
He has the style to beat Castano. And let me just drop this little B in your ear. He will not show the hesitancy that Charlo showed against Castano. Castano will either get him or he'll get Castano. But he got a lot more to work with. You just have to worry about, will he be able to take that strength? And I think at the end of the day, he's showing himself to be quite a strong young man. And I call him young man because he's young enough to be my son. So go for it.
Yeah, I'm not fit for the games, man. Either these guys are gonna.
We gotta get that fight. We got to get that fight, man. I think Bud and you was going around the panel. You get to everybody. This me. I think that if Boots don't get it, I think Bud and Earl just need to happen. We got to get that fight this year, the summer. We got to get that fight. I mean, we need this, man. We need this fight. All that 60-40
trick. You know why I'm past it? I'm past it because
if
Bud beats him now.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, if Bud beats him now, they're gonna have all these excuses for it happening. That's the thing. Let somebody else whoop Spence ass.
That's what I hate. Yeah.
Let him go on, let Bud go on and do something else. He's already proven. They thought that Sean Porter was the perfect style to prove exactly what they wanted Sean to prove. Well, he wasn't up for it, was he? So it's on to the next thing. And to me, it's not Spence. Who the hell is Spence? Who is he to write everybody else's career? He the one that has had some things that happen. It's not nobody else's fault, man. But like I said, you don't deserve to not get your full credit, regardless if you don't like Bud's personality or whatever. The man can box in the boxing ring. That's what I tune in to watch. You know what I mean? I don't care about all that other stuff. I want the guys to do it in the ring. And it's going to be a merry-go-round with these two guys from here on out. We already saw how Bob Arum hung this man out to dry regarding Manny Pacquiao. It's a damn shame that so much time was passed on that. But then Ugas gets the opportunity.
Errol right now, this is my opinion. Bud proved himself last night. But right now at 147, you know, Errol's in the driver's seat still.
You know what's interesting? I'm reading these comments in the chat, and you got certain individuals saying things about me like, I don't like Spence and this and that.
That's not even about that.
Exactly. That shows you the ignorance of the people listening, right? Because they own an agenda. I'm not on an agenda. I've supported Spence long time. I've supported Bud long time and have been equally critical of both guys. Equally. That's how you know a person don't know nothing about me. Because I don't have a dog in the race. I just want to see the best fights that can happen. And we've said this time and time again. The more you give guys an opportunity to have excuse not to do it, the more other things from the outside can interject themselves and the fights to end up not happening at all. Spence almost lost his life. We saw it with AJ and Wilder. It didn't happen.
Yep.
We saw it again, like somebody mentioned earlier, like Bo and Lennox. It didn't happen. We need to see the fights that are premium, not just be given co-mains and fillers. And the fact that I'm speaking about Spence as I am after last night's fight, and people getting on me like, oh, you just don't like Spence. Y'all been doing that for Spence forever and doing it against Bud. But it don't look good, is it? It's an ugly shirt to put on, ain't it? Plaid, stripes, and polka dots. Huh? But this is what you guys been wearing the whole damn time. Go back in my archive and listen to what I've had to say about Spence. Go back in my archive and listen to what I had to say about Crawford. It's been very consistent. But you just heard me say earlier when I profess I'm tired of this mess between the two. Tired of it. How much longer? Bud whooped the guy's ass last night that everybody wanted to see whoop Bud. It didn't happen. Too bad, too sad.
and Stormy, let me say this, man. I'm looking at people's comments in the chat. You know, I can get a fighter to come on this show, and I want to get him to come on here so he can tell the story that he told me, how he was training Earl Spence's brother up in New York, and he told me a while back, and I'm just saying this now, how Earl Spence don't stop drinking, he gonna fucking himself up. And right after he told me that, guess what happened? He flipped his damn car.
And notice,
and everybody in that chat, y'all getting on Stormy, y'all know what y'all talking about, man.
Hey, listen, I've been
Earl
trying
don't do nothing wrong with some people's book.
Things. I've been hinting around, but I've been trying not to say, but it's a fact, Trick.
It's
a fact. Bud don't do those things. The only thing you could possibly say that he brought into the ring last night was a little bit of ring rust, because he's been his longest time ever outside the ring. But you saw in those last couple of rounds, he was starting to get his timing down. He was starting to land more shots.
Hold on, y'all. Salute to Zena360 in that super chat. He said, I supported both fighters. I just know Bud turned down an offer, so I don't understand what Spence was supposed to do when Bud never even sent an offer, and he gave the number to Arum to make the fight. I don't know what happened, but let's bring in this brother, Blu-ray. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's good? Family, what's going down?
Chilling, man, chilling. You came in at the right time.
Yes, sir.
Your thoughts, man, on last night and what you think, and just give it to me. What's going on, bro?
Man, I'm good. Over here, Pain, man. I'm Pain doing real man work.
That's what's up, man. You was lit last night, man.
Man,
bro, last night. Talk to
me. Like Terrence Crawford did what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? He was patient. You know, he did what he's supposed to. I was more disappointed in Kenny Porter stopping the fight, because my thing is, when you go in a press conference and you already said you knew you was going to stop the fight, that didn't sound right to me. Why would you say before the fight even started that you knew you was going to stop the fight? Then he retired. So if you know this is going to be your son last fight, let the man go out like a man. Let him go out like a champion, because I didn't see where he was hurt. I seen he got hit with a temple shot. His equilibrium was off, but he wasn't out there. We've seen a million other fighters hurt 10 times more than that. And for him to go out like that and not to be able to go out in the shield, man, that's why I was so lit. I was just disappointed in Kenny Porter stopping that fight, bro. Like, bro, these are championship fights. This is not the amateurs. You know, that man wasn't hurt that bad. And then, you know, you know, and now you got people saying that Terrence Crawford stopped Porter when he didn't stop him. His daddy waved the white flag. And even when he was trying to throw it in, Sean Porter was telling his dad no. Then there was a man behind him trying to grab him to prevent him from throwing the towel in. So it just didn't seem right to me. And then, you know, the under was 10 rounds, 10.5. You had to go a minute and 30 into the, you know, it was fishy to me. I'm sorry. I ain't rolling with that.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. They don't on one hand, they're saying what you're saying. On the next hand, people are saying, yo, look, that's not only his trainer, but that's his son in there. And he don't want to see him go out like that. So he want to see him just live for the next day, let alone fight another day, live to see the next day.
Bro, he wasn't getting hit. Drew, he wasn't getting hit with no bombs, bro. The dude got hit on the temple. Mm-hmm. He just knocked his equilibrium off. It happens all the time. It's nothing new. That man wasn't hurt. The man went down and started pounding on the canvas. If you're hurt, you're going to be almost unconscious. You're not going to know.
Hey, let me.
That's some frustration.
No. It's frustration. It's frustration, but at the same time, remember Pritchard Cologne? What he was doing before they stopped his fight, pounding on the canvas.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting hit in the back. Pritchard, he got hit in the back of the head. Porter didn't get hit in the back of the head.
He got dropped though.
Porter wasn't taking the damage that Pritchard Cologne was taking. Come on, I understand what you're saying, but that's two different scenarios in my opinion.
Well, look here, Blu-ray. This is what I think about it. I think that Kenny Porter knows Bud Crawford relatively well, and when he dropped Porter that first time, it's like, okay, let's see what happened. Then he dropped him the second time. He knows that Bud. He don't want to see his son out cold. He can't go on. That would be my argument on that. Now, what he said, in the aftermath when they first interviewed him in the ring and all of that, I don't know what happened in the gym between them. But I can imagine that he did not want y'all to see his son in the worst spot against this guy, and then it'd be like, that's his highlight reel and all of that. There's something to that I feel when I look at how the fight was stopped in that instance. And it was very early in the round. I don't think it had gone like 40 seconds yet when all of that had happened.
No, it was still a minute. I think it was like a minute left still in the round.
I think it was more than that.
There was a lot of times, like a minute 30.
A lot of time.
There was almost 2 minutes left in the round.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. And when you look at the odds on the under,
I mean, he had them been down 2 times already. With that much time left in the round, he was definitely going to go down again. Bud was in kill mode.
It's a possibility. It's not a guarantee. We don't see plenty of people knock somebody down twice, and then look at the Felix Verdejo when he fought Nakatani. He turned the fight around after getting dropped.
No, we talking about a totally different kind of killer right now.
But I'm talking. You mentioned that he got knocked down twice, so I'm sticking with the same context. We've seen plenty of fighters get knocked down and turn the fight around in the same round.
Not with fighters that had Bud in front of them.
Okay, all right. I'm not like I said. I'm not speaking on Bud. My whole issue is Crawford. I mean, is Porter's dad. I don't even have an issue with Porter. So.
Yeah, well, I had said going into this fight, when this fight was made, that it was going to probably come down to Kenny stopping the fight. That's what I had said.
Well, Kenny said he was going to stop the fight before he said he knew he was going to stop the fight before it started. So, it makes sense.
And you see,
come on, bro.
That's true. And you see, that's why I was saying, with everything being what it was, Kenny should have just saved it. As soon as he said, when they asked him his thoughts, and he said, honestly, I said, oh, man.
And then think about, man, they blame everybody except him. That was so disrespectful. This dude blamed Sean. Bro, that dude threw his son under the bus, bro. Like, I couldn't even stand to listen to that dude.
Man, it's tough, man.
Don't nobody else find that funny that he blamed everybody except him. He didn't take no responsibility to the trainer. What adjustments did you tell your son to make?
Yeah, what was
I mean, but you gotta look at it. He's been training Sean his whole career. Sean fights every fight the same way.
So who's to blame?
Oh,
I
That's his
mean,
style, man.
Yeah, but listen,
if he let his father train him to not make adjustments and to go in and make the same mistakes every fight, I mean, both of them retarded if you ask me.
I'm Kenny Porter can take some responsibility and not just my son focus, my son didn't train good, my son. My brother, you was the one watching him the entire time.
well, yeah, the Blu-ray has a point, man. You know, and like you said, Randall, he fights the same way every fight. It was his job in the corner as his trainer to tell him to make adjustments, and we didn't see anything different.
You
I
gotta
agree. Let me tell you. I stayed with my trainer, my first trainer I turned pro with.
Uh-huh.
He could not train me to fight southpaws. Chop, beat me in the first fight. Guess what I did? I left him.
Well, that's a true story. That's a true story.
Hey, Mark. Hey, let's put that one on that one, and I'm gonna switch that up, put it on this door.
So, Blu-ray.
What's up, bro?
How likely is it that we get Bud versus Errol by summertime at least?
Man, bro, I'm gonna text Earl 1,000 times. He gonna get mad at me. I'm gonna text him something. Hey, bro, I don't whoop this dude, bro. That dude cannot beat Earl, bro. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you what I know. Bud ain't got nothing for EJ, bro. I'm telling you. He don't have it, bro. I'm sorry.
How do you think
what
that
is
ends?
it gonna take for Bud to beat him, Blu-ray?
He not.
So you don't think he got nothing to beat him? Nothing.
Bro, my boy, listen, EJ gonna walk that boy down, man. I'm telling you exactly what he gonna walk him down and stay in his chest. Ain't nothing he gonna be able to do with him. Out that old
and
running.
get knocked out.
Who?
Earl.
Who get knocked out?
Earl getting knocked out.
Hey.
Earl getting knocked out, bro. Earl is getting knocked the fuck out. Just like I said, Sean was getting knocked the fuck out. He knocking your boy Earl out too. And then that's gonna be the clinch of the legacy.
I've never
just
seen
get in the ring. Bring him in the ring, man. Bring him on in there. Stop messing around, talking all that stuff. Bring your boy in the ring. Bud gonna knock him out.
All the time, I know what my brother gonna do, so I ain't even do all the time. So I ain't worried about it.
That's fine. But you heard it here first, people. Right here on Drew Titan LLC. You heard it.
Boy, he gonna get knocked. Boy, trust me, man. Name one fight I trained Earl. He went the distance. Name one.
All right, now this is a good conversation. This is a good conversation because
name one fighter that I trained Earl. We're not worried.
It ain't good.
We talking about the facts, my brother. Answer the question. We talking about the facts, not your opinion.
He ain't fought Bud yet. That'll be you will have trained him for Bud, and Bud gonna show you both where the canvas at.
Walk down, he gonna get stopped.
So he's standing on his training.
But listen, then nobody answered my question. Name a fight I trained Earl that he went the distance.
I know you had a break away from training him for a while, so I don't even remember. I can't count back.
Sean Porter and Danny. And that's another thing. How y'all comparing Earl fight to Sean Porter when Earl didn't even train for the fight? Only thing he did was spar, hit the mix. He didn't even do no strength and conditioning and still beat Sean Porter. Make it make sense.
A lot of people didn't know that, bro.
He didn't do no strength and conditioning for Danny Garcia. Still beat him. Didn't do no strength and conditioning for Mikey Garcia. Still beat him.
You talking about two of the softest punchers in the division. You talking about a 5'2" lightweight.
You're missing the point. See, when I ask direct questions, you want to deflect and go around the move the goalpost. Let's stick with the comments That's what's wrong with black people. When you ask them a question, they can't answer the question.
Well, I'll say this: with you training him, he may be able to get up a couple more times. Okay.
Oh, God
That
damn.
just means,
Hold on.
hey,
Name a time he been down.
you go down 9, you get up 8.
Name
You know what I
one
mean?
time, amateurs, pros, he been down. Name one time.
What was that?
Name a time in the amateurs or the pros when Earl has been down.
He didn't fight Bud.
Man,
That's what I said.
Weak stuff, bro. Answer
That's
the
not
goddamn
weak.
question,
When they
bro.
get in the ring, and
Answer
y'all
the
don't mess
question.
around and let him become a full-fledged welterweight now.
People that can't like to answer. I'm asking you a direct question, my brother. Answer the question.
Well, I didn't follow him when the amateurs.
Okay, in the pros when he been knocked down.
I don't think he's been knocked down in the pros.
Has Bud been knocked down?
If you want to call that little
Answer
slip or
the
knockdown,
question.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he been knocked down. He has
Whatever.
been knocked down.
Can you
Well, I
answer
guarantee you,
He been knocked
he
down.
touches the canvas on the night that he faces Bud.
Listen, one thing about me.
Hey, no, let me tell you this, Blue.
Hold on, let me tell you.
This is what you do. Be ringside, right near the ring apron. And Bud gonna point to the spot,
I need you to
hit him
listen
on his chin, and you be right there to catch him so he don't touch the canvas.
to me. Can you listen to me?
Go ahead, Blue. Go ahead, Blue.
Real, bro. I'm a Bud fan.
No, you ain't. Don't even come on here and start lying. You've been telling the truth all this time. But
Drew,
now you're gonna come on here and start lying.
Drew, have I said that before?
You said that. You said that to
He
me
was
a
lying
bunch
to
of
you,
times.
Drew. He was lying to you.
Oh, my brother, I like boxing. So no matter if I work with Earl Spence or not, I'm a boxing fan, my brother. So at the end of the day, I'm taking no credit away from Bud, my brother. I like him. He did. I
Blu-ray.
love boxing. Just like
Blu-ray, I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing. I want to see. I want to see what happens. But I do pick Bud over him, though. You know.
When Crawford fought Victor Postal, most people call that fight boring. I call it boxing at its finest because he took away the man's strength. I love watching boxing. So just because I work with Earl, I'm not going to be biased. But I already know what Earl can do, and Bud ain't got it. That's all I'm saying.
That's what's up. Your salute to the African sci-fi scholar. He said Kenny did say he.
Bro, he ain't got it, bro. I'm sorry.
Hold on. He said Kenny did say he was planning to stop it because Sean said he wanted to retire after the fight. He wanted to retire after the Errol Spence Jr. fight to keep his facilities. I did hear something about that. African sci-fi scholar back in that super chat. He said Blu-ray is Bud the best fighter Errol Spence Jr. has ever fought.
He hasn't fought him yet.
I'm saying, is he in reference to everybody else on his resume this far?
For sure. Once they fight, yeah, he's the best fighter he's ever fought for sure.
Okay. Did Sean say? Is there any truth to that? Because I just heard that today. Did Sean say he wanted to retire after the Errol fight? I heard something about that today.
Man, these dudes be talking. Man, nigga lying.
I just heard that today. I was like, shit.
Excuses, bro. Man, they act like they was Kenny Porter was acting like a Catholic preacher after that fight. bro, listen, bro. Man, bro, I can't respect them dudes, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Yo, salute to Roderick Frilla in that super chat. He said, "Hey, Drew, they put me on some timeout for defending Bud." Oh yeah, I got the other screen up. I'm sorry.
I have nothing negative to say about Bud. I just know he's not gonna be Earl Spence. Period. I know that for sure.
I'm gonna take care of you, Roger.
I got a whole listen. I've been putting my money where my mouth is. Every nigga that want to bet, I'm taking all you niggas' money.
Wow. So you listen. So you saying he gonna go in there and he gonna walk down Bud?
Bro, I'm telling you.
And walk him down.
I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
All right. Reiterate.
Listen,
reiterate what's gonna happen.
Around the ring, Earl gonna cut the ring off and make that boy fight, man. I promise you.
That could be a bad lesson.
Listen, Randall.
That could be a bad lesson.
Listen, I'm gonna hear you, and I'm gonna only take what you say because I know who you are and you've been in the ring before. Anybody else, I'm not trying to hear nothing they talking about.
So you don't know me. Hey, you don't know me, but go subscribe to Stormy B, man, and then you'll get to know me.
Listen, I'm
Go
sure
subscribe to Stormy B, man. You'll get to know me.
You know what? On that, this
sure
the
not
fight we got to
problem
see. We got to see this fight right here, man.
Bro, listen, I need to text Earl right now, bro. Make the fight. Whoop this nigga, bro. I'm tired.
Yo, you know what I will say though? You know what they tried to say? And the internet is very strange. But they showed, because Earl was there, of course. They put the camera right on him. It looked to me that he wasn't like, he was looking like, oh, come on, man. Like he was calling BS on it. He got up with his people and he left.
Bro, he
they tried to make it sound like he didn't want to get in the ring out of some sort of fear. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Hold on. Did Terrence Crawford get in the ring when Earl beat Danny Garcia? He was there.
Absolutely not.
He was sitting right. Hold on. He was sitting directly behind me, literally. He didn't go get in the ring.
True story. True story. And Bud was talking. He said, who's the number one welterweight in the division? Now, I mean, look, Blue, listen.
Hold on. So let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask everybody on the panel a question. Has Bud done more at 147 than Earl? Yes or no?
I mean,
because he hasn't campaigned there his whole career.
135 pounds.
Listen, my brother, watch this, bro. Watch this. When you on the job, right?
Yep.
You can hold on. When you advance to another level, everything that you did on the level, it don't count here. You still gotta work your way
true.
to this level.
Not true.
My brother, come
Not
on,
true.
man. I'm stopping.
Not true.
Yes, it is.
Not true. Not true.
Yes,
If that's the case, why fighters move up
listen,
and all their accolades go with them?
I understand the difference in boxing. I'm not gonna take that from you. I'm saying that's why I asked the question the way that I did. We understand that Terrence Crawford has done more in boxing than Earl Spence. That's not even an argument. We know that. I'm asking, has he done more at 147? That's my only question. And the answer is no. I'm gonna help y'all out since y'all don't want to answer the question. No.
Okay, no.
Now, let me give y'all some real game. Let's be honest. Earl would have been at 54 and would have been fought Bud a long time ago if Keith Thurman and them wasn't stalling him out back in 2018. Am I right or wrong?
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you gotta factor that in too. That Earl would have been probably undisputed before now. But guess what? They stalled him out. Then he had the wreck. We had COVID. It was so many other factors you gotta channel in before y'all just say, okay, boom. Man, come on, man. Stop playing. Factor in everything.
I mean,
now it's
we got to make
break it all the way down. Now it makes sense. Well,
we got to make fight.
You're right. Okay, he could.
I mean, okay. But didn't Bud say Terrence Crawford ain't did nothing at welterweight? Let him win a world title.
Well, listen, Earl need to make the fight. I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm not biased.
He did everything that was asked of him.
Say it again.
He did everything that was asked of him.
Okay, listen. What I just say? It's time for Earl to make the fight.
Agree.
Yep.
Agree. You're right. Agree.
Well, it's past due that time anyway. Jerron Boots is breathing down y'all neck.
I wanted Earl to fight Bud when he first got in the division, but Earl.
Yeah, you did say that. You said that.
Earl is in control of his own. He a grown man. I have no say so over it.
You're right.
I do what I do, and I'm the best at what I do. Period. So I just do my job, and y'all will see they make the fight or whoever Earl fight next. When I train him, the nigga going down. Just like I trained Earl for Pacquiao. There wasn't nobody but God that messed up Earl eye, because I'm telling you, he was for to kill that boy. I promise
you. Everyone said that. They said that I saved Manny.
Listen,
that's fun.
Listen, that was the first fight me and Earl came back training together. So we trained the whole camp. I stopped training him 2 weeks before he went off. You know what I mean? Then when he did his physical, that's when he found out his eye was messed up. So that was a very pivotal fight for me too. You know what I mean? So, I wanted to see, us put that work in like we always do. Because, everybody know Earl for stopping people. When we worked together, he knocked out 11 straight people. Bud hadn't done that. My bad. But you know, we back. So just be prepared. And that's what does Stormy do? What's his name? Stormy?
Stormy B-Man.
Stormy B-Man, the sensei.
Hey, Drew, make sure after Earl, whoever Earl fight next, when Earl stop him, when I work with him, just call old boy. I'm talking about
we gonna have
a whole bunch of cash money.
Oh, man, this is gonna be a party. I'm leaning towards the cup half full instead of half empty. I have faith that this fight's gonna get made. I have complete and total faith that the fight's gonna get made. It's summertime. I'm looking towards it.
I think it's summer.
Juneteenth. I want to see the fight happen on Juneteenth. More on that tomorrow, but nevertheless, salute to my brother Jafar Cesar in that super chat. He says Stormy B-Man hugging Bud after the fight. Spence emoji. man, this is so much fun.
Blue. There's still a lot to learn over there at my channel, though, bro. Seriously, I'm not kidding with that. I got good content over there.
Biased people. You biased. I can already tell.
Don't do me like that, bro. Don't do me like that, because I've done some good content on Earl as well, man. Don't do that.
See me, I'm from the street, and I just started training. You know what I mean? So, and I still got that street mentality. I'm still praying and God working on me because I'm real. all that old fake bias, and man, I'm not biased on nobody.
Hey, nothing about my channel is fake, bro. These men over here can attest to that for me.
Yes, sir.
True story. No. Stormy's official. Stormy's official.
Hey, Drew.
In this aspect, he just picking Bud. I disagree. I'm picking Errol, but I want to see the fight made so we can have an actual panel on who wins the fight. I want to see the fight made though.
Hey, you didn't do the thing. Nah, I want to see the fight made too, bro. I'm ready, bro.
Man. It's the only fight that makes sense.
I'm tired of these Bud fans running them out. I swear to God, I'm just tired.
Bro, listen. But the Bud fans, and let me be very clear. You'll never hear me get on here and say Bud can't fight. That'll be the dumbest shit ever. I'll never say no stupid shit like that. I just had a problem with the business moves because 60-40, the fight was there. It was there, and he said no. He said, I'm the biggest star. And then he said 60. Remember, he said 60-40 my way? I was like, Bud, come on. What are you doing?
Let's be real. Even with Bud winning last night, he's still not the bigger draw. Let's be honest. Like, don't do that. Stop that.
And that's what I was saying. He's not. And that's the business part. You know, he's not. That's all I'm saying. So Earl come back at him and say, yo, look, you know, I don't know, 65-55, whatever the hell you want to say, you know?
Because you listen, y'all know Earl don't need Crawford. Let's be real. He don't need him.
They really don't need each other, but we need him.
Who Crawford? Man, boy, anybody want to fight
we
Crawford.
Need him.
Don't nobody want to fight Crawford. He ain't no.
Evidently, don't nobody want to fight Bud. He ain't got Keith Thurman. Fight Spence. He ain't even got Keith Thurman yet, and they're in the same stable.
Who? Talking about
Keith Thurman.
Randall, stop that, bro. Stop that. Don't do that.
I mean, they're in the same stable, right?
But Randall, let's be real. Randall, we just had this conversation. In 2018, I can screen record 1 million videos where Earl was trying to fight that boy. That boy didn't want to fight. And then when
Exactly. He's doing the same thing. He was doing the same thing Terrence Crawford is doing right now.
And you're absolutely right, my brother. But at the end of the day, it's nothing I can say about that. I have no control over that aspect.
I think 60-40 was generous. It didn't happen. But right now, we got.
Let's go back. We
hold on.
I mean,
y'all think Bud it's a 50-50 split on the business side? Y'all really think that?
I don't think so.
I'm asking the rest of the brothers.
I mean, what he was saying, 60-40?
At first, yeah. I don't know what he's saying now, but 60-40 was
I mean, Spence was, every time he turned around, he was saying something different. 70-30.
90-10.
He was. I ain't lying.
Come on with it, man.
I want to see the fight.
Hey, listen. They just need to go and do 60-40 Spence way. Go and get it over with. Spence
Yeah.
Got two
Yeah,
belts.
then he-
I won. Do 60-40. Boom. Don't get it out the way, bro. Y'all all gonna make money, and hey, it's all good.
Did he say if Bud don't shut up, he gonna 90-10 his ass?
Hey, bro, y'all know Earl. Y'all know Earl, bro. He a butthole, bro. Like, Earl's a butthole, man. For real.
I think he was clowning, man.
Nah,
he was clowning.
Nah, he was clowning. You know how Earl be playing, bro. He played too much. Earl is a comedian, bro. Y'all just don't know it.
Yo, salute to Amani Smoot. He said, I like Porter, Crawford, and Spence, but to act like Crawford didn't struggle against Porter is cap. Now about Spence and Crawford, I got Spence beating Bud by late stoppage. Just my opinion.
And let's be real, y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all know Spence could have made that Porter fight easier than it was, right? Because all he had to do was stay on the outside and jab like he did Mikey Garcia and like he did Danny Garcia. But he said he didn't want to do it. He said he wanted to make it a fight. He wanted to fight his style. Y'all do remember that, right?
I mean, I've never heard of nothing like that.
I'm telling you what he said. He said
I think we all think we've never seen Earl fight like that. We always seen Earl come forward, bring pressure, body, head.
Mix an attack up.
What I will say is,
I've never seen him Floyd Mayweather nobody.
What I will say is,
could have made that fight easier. That's all I'm saying.
What I will say is, when we watch Errol versus Sean, we noticed the difference in Errol's performance.
He didn't work out.
He didn't work out, and everyone was calling for Blu-ray. I'm not even gonna hold you. That was the first thing everyone said. They said, "Did he train with Blu-ray for this fight?" And it was like, "No."
Let me ask you a question, man. Boy, you know we knocking everything out. Listen, Randall, did you ever fight without doing no strength and conditioning?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We didn't have strength and conditioning back when I was coming up.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have all that.
So y'all didn't work out at all? We
worked out. We did regular exercise and all. We didn't do all that strength and conditioning stuff.
I just did mitts and
ran, bit, sparring.
Have you ever came into a fight in worse shape than you were in a previous fight? You get what I'm saying? A slight change in training.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How'd that feel?
I mean, you know the difference.
Yeah.
Shit, I went and fight. My trainer had me only sparring fucking 6 rounds for fights sometimes, and I was fighting 12-round fights.
Oh wow.
So the difference is noticeable.
Oh hell yeah.
So that's what we're saying with Errol.
You know when you get your ass in that ring. Motherfucker putting that heat on your ass and you looking for that second gas and there ain't nothing in the tank.
Randall, was it like that in the Cotto fight? I thought you seemed like you was sick to me for some reason. I don't know why. We had a discussion, but you said you weren't sick. That Cotto fight?
Let me tell you. When I fought Cotto, mind you, I hadn't fought at 140 in almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't have a trainer at the time. You know, in that fight, my trainer that I had, motherfucker spoke Spanish. You know what I'm saying? He was just a guy. He was just a guy that was always in the gym with me, and I trusted him. You know what I'm saying? And his style, I just needed somebody to come to the fight with me.
That's tough.
Cold.
Yo, salute to my brother Riptide. This question's for you, Blu-ray. Blu-ray, this is Coach from Monty Brown and ETB channel. Did Bill Haney call you? You want to know if Bill called you?
Nah, I ain't heard from him.
All right. No doubt. Yeah, that's funny. And salute to the African sci-fi scholar. He said, Blue, were you impressed with Bud's strength and conditioning?
Hell no.
No? Talk to me. Because I thought he looked good, but talk to me.
Me too.
What did you see? I ain't see no strength.
He was pushing Porter around, man. Come on now. Stop it, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, moving Porter around, man. Porter move that boy around.
Hold on, watch this. Randall, let me help you out, brother.
Help me.
your assessment of a good fighter and somebody else's assessment is going to be two different, right? Because you have a different eye from other people.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Strength and conditioning.
All right, you're right.
The game, my brother.
All right, I'm gonna leave it. You're right. You got me right now.
So when somebody say they see strength, to me, I be like, I'm not saying he trash.
That's your feel right there. Okay.
But listen to what I'm saying. It's like just like Juice just mentioned. You see a difference in Earl Power when he trained with me versus not training with me, right or wrong?
True story.
But then if somebody see Earl fight, they be like, "Ooh, he punch hard." But guess what? When he trained with Blu-ray, he punches harder.
Mm-hmm. True.
So what I'm saying is that we can be looking at the same thing and see two different things. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not taking credit away from Bud because, like I said, he did his job. But I see no strength and no conditioning. Because when we say strength and conditioning, we want to say, okay, you can pinpoint where, okay, watch this. Like when I started working with Earl, they were like, Blu-ray, how do you get Earl to get stronger as the fight goes? See, that's something that's tangible that we can identify. Tell me what identify in Bud that showed that he was stronger in this fight versus the last fight, or he was more conditioned. Somebody help me out.
I mean, when he did get Porter hurt, he went to kill that motherfucker.
That is okay. He did that. He did. Hold on. He did that to the last person he fought. Come on.
Okay. Strength and conditioning in that somewhere.
You didn't answer my question. I gave the ABCs. I broke it all the way down to make you understand. You still missed the question.
I mean, we gonna look at the outcome. The outcome shows he was strong. He was laying.
I'm not saying he wasn't strong. I'm not saying that.
That's a part of strength and conditioning, though.
What I'm saying.
He was strong in the late rounds.
But you see, let me break it down again.
Break it down.
One more time, Randall.
Please.
Okay, remember. So when Earl trained with me, they say, okay, boom, you see this, it's tangible. Oh, okay, I can see he was hitting harder. Okay, I see he was stronger. I see he wasn't as tired this fight. You see what I'm saying? It's tangible to point it out. You can't point nothing out with Bud. Even Bud, hold on, watch this. Even Bud said this wasn't his best performance.
When Earl and Bud make the fight, where you gonna be at?
I'm gonna be. What do you mean? Where I'm gonna be at?
Ringside, brother.
No, I'm talking about during training camp.
What you mean? Where I'm gonna be at? We're gonna be working.
I'm gonna give you a code.
What code?
I don't know, the flu or something. So we know Earl won't be strong in later rounds.
Hey man, tell you boy. Listen. All right, listen. I ain't gonna listen. I ain't gonna keep talking. I know it.
Yo, salute to C Love. He said salute to everyone on the panel. Much love to the Kings. Much love to you, man. Much love, appreciation, man. But I Blu-ray, it's up to you, brother. Get holla at Arrow, man. Tell him, please. I'm begging him, please. I'm begging you. Because I need the questions answered. I know what you're talking about strength and conditioning. You know me, I'm on that program. You know what I mean? Oh, let me add. Tay Jones credited you for that last knockout he had. He was on the phone with me. He said, yeah, that's because, fucking with Blu-ray. You know what I mean? So Tay Jones credited. So, I understand strength and conditioning. As far as stylistics go, I'm picking Errol. Sensei's picking Bud. A lot of people picking Bud, but this is what makes it. This is what makes for the conversation because
it's cool. It's cool.
We need to see what's happening.
These dudes are delusional, but it's cool.
Oh man, but we got to see the fight, man. We got to see the fight, man. Salute to Planet 619. He said Blu-ray and Randall are comedy, man. # salute, man. Salute, man.
Hey, man, it's all love, man. We just having fun, man.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. We just this is all great conversation, and hopefully this will motivate the brothers to get this done. I don't want to talk numbers no more. I want to get a fight date. Hopefully, it's over the summer, and I'm gonna buy my plane ticket. Or they could do me a solid and have the fight in New York if they want to effing do that. God damn it! But I'll go to Dallas. I'll go to.
Man, they
I'll
need
go
to make that
to.
Dallas, man. You know what I mean? That's how
I'll go to Dallas.
because it's we need a bigger facility when Earl fight. When Crawford fight, we can go down the street.
Go to T-Mobile.
Oh, he firing shots, boy.
Go to
Oh,
T-Mobile. Go to Vegas. Go to T-Mobile.
Hey, right down the street. They can have it in Dallas, right down the street from me too, as well.
I'm just saying, Bud got a belt. He's still fighting in Nebraska, man. Come on, man. Stop.
Come on, man. Let's take the neutral ground. Take it to Vegas.
Vegas.
T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Man, that be lit, man. We need to pack that. We need to pack it out, man.
They go to Dallas.
Man, they could drive. They got money. They could get a ticket.
Fans, bro. Them people up there in Nebraska be Cowboy fans.
Hey man,
they got wow.
They get there though. They get there.
Yeah, they definitely need to come on down to going down to Dallas. I'll get my plane ticket. I will fly my ass down there.
They need to have that. They need to have it somewhere. Have it somewhere neutral ground.
I'm gonna take all y'all. Go get y'all drunk.
Y'all invite me to fight
and talk noise to y'all the whole time.
Well, Randy, we're gonna get you on the undercard. We're gonna get you one of those Paul boys. Jake Paul, get you in the ring with Jake Paul.
Don't even tell me no lies.
Get a Jake Paul payday, man. Get you some bread real quick.
They don't even want to give me an exhibition. They think I'm gonna fight for real.
They have no knockout clause.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Next.
They think I don't know how to abide by the rules.
No doubt. Well, this has been fun, man. I'm gonna pack this up, man. Trill is on right now. Randall, man, much love and appreciation. You know we got an open door policy. You're one of those open doors. All you gotta do is hit me up, hit up Trick. You know what I mean? You know, Stormy B, man, the sensei in the mother effing building. Let them know how they can find you, famo.
Everybody can find me right here on YouTube, man. Stormy B, man, is the channel.
No diggity doubt. My brother Trick Nolte in the building. Let them know.
And you can find me on Facebook as Anthony Carter, on Instagram, Trick_Nolte. You can find me there also on YouTube with Drew and Stormy, chopping up with these legends, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody.
Salute to my brother Marco and Champion the Chump podcast. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them right here on YouTube. They get a lot of exclusive interviews. Salute to Jeff Mayweather. He had to bounce out early, man. Salute to him. Blu-ray, let them know how they can find you, my brother.
Just Blu-ray Fitness on Instagram and on YouTube, The Blu-ray Show. And then Stormy, I'm gonna subscribe to you, my brother. I was just messing with you, man. True co-sign, I'm gonna subscribe, man.
I'm finna hit you up, Blu-ray.
Huh?
I'm finna hit you up.
Hey, Randall, man. Hey, Randall, man. Hey, I like you as a fighter. I didn't realize who you were until I kept. I said I know that name. Then I realized who you are, man. You was a good fighter, man.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, see, if you would have had me a long time ago, boy.
You right. You is right.
We would have did some damage. Right. You had some power, right. Brother. I'm gonna give you that.
Right. Let me tell you, you know what? The only time I ever did it was when I fought Mike Jones.
Mm-hmm. And look what happened.
Yep.
You stopped that Mike Jones shit before it got started.
That nigga still asleep.
I had almost a good 4-5 weeks of strength and conditioning. Matter of fact, I was training with Gambosa's trainer, Javier Centeno.
A lot of people don't realize it really makes a difference.
It was Javier Centeno and my other homeboy Leo. I did for that fight.
And strength and conditioning, man. That does it every time, man. Well, look, brothers, Trill is on. We're gonna head over there and bring down the property value, as my brother Junior Truth always says, man. Man, this was fun. Yo, man, Blue, listen. Please hit up Errol. If you gotta hit him up 5 times a day.
Yeah, he gonna cuss me out, but I'm gonna get on his nerve.
Please, man. Yo, man, look. When that fight is signed, that's gonna be, man, we're gonna have some panels, boy.
Nah, that's the
And-
biggest fight. That's the biggest fight in boxing, bro. Hands down.
It is. That's why it
Yeah.
has to happen. If somebody got to sacrifice some money or whatever, please, just because they can get 2 fights out of it. They all going to eat. Those 2 brothers can feed each other.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Those 2 brothers can really feed each other. They can really feed each other.
I
And that's
agree.
what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah. You know, since Earl missed the Pac-Man fight, might well do the Crawford, man.
Got to.
Yep.
See? Got to. I want those brothers to eat. I want them both to eat. They don't need each other for legacy, but they need each other. They don't, but they do.
Nah,
You dig?
that's the best fight in boxing right now, bro. So,
I agree.
fight, man. Go on, get busy, man. And that one gonna be for fans, my brother. And you know,
No doubt.
the man win. You know.
No doubt. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna
All
head
right,
over to the trail. All right, brother. I'm gonna call you during the week, man. I got something else I'm gonna holler at you about.
All right, Brett.
All right, my brother.
All right, peace, y'all.
I'll take
Peace,
it.
y'all.
Peace.
Boss on deck.
All right.
Move!